Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Anakin, me talking to the camera about. Today, I want to talk about the release of guilt, how to release it, how to change your mind state so that you don't believe in it, and how to get rid of it for good, pretty much. So, let's talk about it. The guy who turned me on to this idea is named Dan Kennedy, and he's currently alive. He's on his deathbed, but he's currently alive and he's written a lot of books. He's a very smart individual. He does horse races. He's a very cool guy. And if you want to, go research him because he's got loads of information that are perfect for anyone who wants to start copywriting or doing anything involving business whatsoever. But he talks about this thing called no guilt in terms of money, of finances, of not being guilty when it comes to finances. And he talks about this thing called, he says it's not a zero sum game. When I pay somebody or when somebody pays me, they don't lose any money. They gain something from that. They gain something of value, usually, whether it's a service or a product. So they actually get value for what they're offering, which is money. And money inherently has no value except for the fact that it can be burned to keep you warm. Now, because we give it value, it has value in our society. But again, when somebody pays you money for something, and this is something Alex Hormozy talks about as well, when somebody gives you money for something in exchange for something, usually they believe that that thing, whatever it is, whether it's a service or a product, is more valuable than the money that they just gave you. Meaning people buy deals. People pay for deals. And you might even relate to that. You might even pay for, like whenever you pay for something, whether it's a jar of yogurt, whether it's a carton of eggs, whatever it is, you believe that you're getting more out of that carton of eggs than it costs you for that carton. Okay? And it's the same for services. It's the same for products, physical products, anything, digital products, anything like that. And so there's this thing to get rid of when it comes to guilt in terms of money or currency exchange. And it's like, if I ask somebody for money and it's their last dollar, basically what it is if I feel guilty at all for asking for money for somebody, right? Like literally just asking for money. If I feel guilty about that, when they give me money, if I feel guilty about them giving me money, me receiving money, if I think that it's going to hurt their lives at all, then it's going to inhibit my wealth attraction. Okay? So let's say a guy gives me $100 for a service I gave to him. And in my mind, that $100 he could have used to feed his kids, or he could have used it for whatever, or this or that, right? And in my mind, let's say I start to feel guilty about that interaction. Well, what's going to happen is my subconscious mind and my nervous system will not allow me to attract wealth, because my subconscious mind and my nervous system has been programmed with the belief that when I attract wealth, it hurts others, hurts other people, takes away from them. And so when you ask for money, or if you're offering a service or a product and you're charging an amount of money, there can be no guilt in that asking for the money. It's not a zero-sum game. Any money that you get from them, you've gotten, and it's your attraction. Your law of attraction has attracted that money to you, and they just so happen to be the vessel in which it came. Okay? And everyone is operating under this law of attraction. So no matter how much money you take from Bob, Joe, Sam, Billy, no matter how much money you take from them, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, they're going to have the same amount of money in their bank account, a bank account that they usually have at the beginning of every week or month. And that's because of their law of attraction, how much their beliefs about money serves them. Okay? And this is what Dan Kennedy talks about in his books. So it's literally your subconscious mind will stop you from attracting money if you think it's hurting other people. And you could have this belief. You could think that, oh, you know, I know that it's not actually hurting them, but if it's an ingrained program within your subconscious mind, it's going to take some programming, some deprogramming and reprogramming to reinstill a new belief system within you so that you no longer feel guilty about taking people's money or getting money from people or even asking for money from people. Okay. I was inspired to talk about this today, but it also is in terms of anything that you ask for. So, like, asking is a huge benefit to you because the ability to ask for something is enormous. It's an enormous power, and especially when you don't feel guilt when you're asking for whatever it is you're asking for. Okay. So it's very easy to ask for networking. It's very easy to ask for connections. It's very easy to ask for money. It's very easy to ask for resources. All you have to do is ask, and then if you're rejected, you are rejected. And if not, you get what you ask for. It's very simple. And if you get rejected, now you know that you've been rejected and you can move on. And so now you've freed your mind of whatever it is that you were asking for. So when you have the urge to ask for something, ask for it. And if you get rejected, move on. If you don't, now you have it. And it's great and it's good. And that's like, it's a courage thing. It's a belief system thing. It's you believing in yourself. It's you believing that there is infinite abundance in this world and that literally, there's infinite abundance in this world. We're going to run out of inches. We're not going to run out of feet or centimeters. We're not going to run out of money. It's all measurements. And it all measures what? Whatever it measures. We're not going to run out of inches and we're not going to run out of money. It's infinite. There are infinite inches to measure in this world. And there's infinite ways to add value to other people's lives. And when we add value to other people's lives, they are happy to pay us money. And this is the wealth mindset that I've learned from Dan Kennedy and Alex Hormozy. And that now, starting businesses and going into business is going to be, it's going to be about how much are you willing to ask for? And what Dan Kennedy says, he says, charge as much as you feel comfortable enough to say without smirking or, laughing. Or how much can you say while keeping a straight face? Charge that much. That's what Dan Kennedy says to do. That's what he says to do. Alex Hormozy says charge nothing and then double your prices until demand goes down. But essentially, this whole video is about releasing guilt. Releasing all guilt. And that was financial. So, that's how you cure your financial stuff. But relationships and health, the guilt of relationships and the guilt of health can be healed as well if you focus on the infinite abundance that there actually is in this universe. See, the only reason that we feel guilt is because we feel or we believe, I believe that I am taking more from the pie, from the relationship, from the business, from myself. I'm taking more than I'm giving. Okay? And that's where guilt comes in. So, is it really about what you're giving, or is it about what you believe that you're giving when you're offering a service, or you're starting a business, or you have a product for sale? You know, like, huh? What is the correlation between asking for money and asking for love in a relationship? Or receiving love in a relationship and receiving money in business? What is the difference? Why do we go into business? We go into business to make money, to make ourselves rich. We go into business to become rich. That's why we go into business. We don't go into business to provide jobs for people. We don't go into business to serve the world. We go into business because we want money to get rich. Because I promise you, that's why we go into business. Because if you didn't want to get rich, you would do the business, but you wouldn't make any money. You'd do it as a nonprofit, or you would just do whatever it is, service, for free. But the reason we offer it as a business is because we want to get rich. Why do we go into relationships? Because we're seeking love. And why do we focus on our health? Because we want to feel fulfilled, right? So fulfillment, love, and wealth, business, relationships, health, right? What is the correlation with all those things and guilt? See, guilt, what is guilt? I know fear is in the root chakra. Shame is in the sacral chakra. But guilt is held in that third chakra, that solar plexus. I ask myself, maybe what am I guilty about? Am I guilty about asking for something? Do I feel guilty about asking for love, asking for money, or asking for myself to be healthy? Do I feel guilty about doing things that I said I would? Do I feel guilty about saying no? All questions to ponder. All questions to ponder. But in reality, I'm just sitting here talking to the camera and going through my belief system so that not maybe, but actually, I'm creating a space now where I'm able to talk about these things. And this space is allowing me to think through my thoughts in a way that gets me to learn the lessons that I need to learn to move forward in the life that I'm moving in and do the things that I want to do. Which, have I decided what I want to do? Have I made the decision what I want to do? Maybe I need to make that decision and actually start going into business. Actually start providing my services to the world. And what services should those be? Those services should be whatever my community, or the community that wants to be served by me, whatever they need, or whatever service that they require from me. So is it really me deciding what I'm doing, or is it me just deciding to go into business and then listening to my audience and listening to what they have to say and then just doing that? Maybe it's that. Maybe it is that. Maybe it is that. How do we go from releasing guilt about finances to talking about my personal business ideas? Maybe it's because I myself still am holding on to guilt about wealth. And so, in order to release that guilt, I must do my meditations, journal my thoughts, and actively work on the belief that wealth and abundance is infinite in this world. Money is infinite. It can be printed. It's printed every day. There is an infinite amount of wealth in this world. And there are so many avenues for that wealth to be realized. And so it's a matter of me just believing in myself. Me believing in the vision that I've casted for myself. And seeing it through and committing to it. Making the commitment to do the actions that may make me nervous. They may even make me feel a wee bit scared. Just a wee bit scared. But what is this fear coming from? I ask myself, what is this fear coming from? And then as soon as I ask myself that question, I get fluttering in my heart. I get glimmer of flutters. I get these things in my heart that are singing to me. They're telling me, yes, Anakin, yes, do it. And so I listen to them, and I'm listening to them now, and they're telling me these sensations in my body, these heart feelings. They're telling me, do it, do it. Just do it. Just say it. Just say the thing that you need to say. Say the thing that's on your mind. Whatever the fuck's on your mind, say it. Because it needs to be said. And if it didn't need to be said, you wouldn't feel like saying it. To whoever may be listening to this video. And I really do appreciate you for listening. My heart feels wide open right now. I'm going to go do a reading because I have a lot of questions. And so like this video if you like these kinds of videos. Comment down below what you want to see, what you want to hear me talk about. And go ahead and click that subscribe button as well if you want to see more stuff just like this. Or click that subscribe button if you want to see more stuff by me that's different. Possibly. I don't know. Not yet. Well, I do know. My heart knows. But my head doesn't know. But my heart does know. Okay, bye-bye. Have a good day.